What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. Hope you guys got your cup of coffee with us on our Saturday countdown to game day show. Curtis and I do every Saturday morning. Today we're coming at 11 a.m. Dolphins, Jets, Monday night. Critical game for both teams, actually. Someone's got to give. Curtis unless it's a tie. Somebody's got to win. We're going to break it all down from Dolphins game plan, key matchups. We'll go over the injury report, keys to the game. We do a little fun over-under. Curtis loves a little prediction, and we'll do our final predictions of the game of the week. So make sure if you're watching on YouTube,
because
guys,
I suck at it.
If you're watching on YouTube, guys, come on over. Like I said, grab your cup of coffee, pull up a chair, drop those likes, get in the chat, ask us questions. We love it, and make sure you share with your friends. And video description, the comments below, we love it. All right, Curtis, how you doing this Saturday morning?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm hoping my internet holds out. So if that does, I'll be real good.
We'll make it. As long as
you know what? Tell you,
it's live.
I'll tell you the truth. Look, season hasn't gone the way we want, but this game is so big. There's so much on the line. It's in prime time. New York is playing the Jets. It really is such an interesting game. It's such an important game. It's really, I think I'm more excited about this game than I have been in a long time.
Yeah. I agree.
Am I breaking up? You're breaking up
a little bit. Well, the Dolphins headquarters over there is trying to keep you quiet there, You're coming in and out, but no worries. I think this is a very interesting game because in a lot of ways, when you look at it, Curtis, this is a tale of two teams that kind of similar situations, underperforming defenses, pass rush not there. I think the Jets were last year where we're at this year with the coaching issues, and both teams haven't had a takeaway. This is almost a game where what's going to give? Which team's going to come out and break the curse in the beginning of the season? The wins, the no turnovers, the pass rush issues. This is a fascinating game on many levels.
Oh yeah.
This is big. This game, they have a new coach regime over there in Aaron Glenn, but look, he's already feeling the pressure. But this one is big for Grant McDaniel. I don't care what anybody says. I know I don't expect any changes if they do lose, and we'll get into our predictions. And hopefully we can talk about a win because I'm tired of talking about losses. But to me, it's which team kind of breaks the curse so far early in the season because they're very similar early in the season, Curtis. Some of the issues they're having.
Yeah, but the difference is they're in year one, we're in year 4. And it's I hate to say it, but since midway through 2022, I kind of knew where I never really felt we would go where I want. I knew we could win some games, be interesting. But for me, the build and what I saw as the philosophy, I've kind of always thought like, this is not our year. This is not our year. And so we're here. And, if we win this game, all it says is we're going to continue this process. But the reality is that if we lose this game, it's going to be the season's over. And then what else is after that that's over? And that's exciting. I don't want us to lose. But in a way, I'll feel if we lose, at least there's assurance that we're going someplace new because this thing ain't happening. What's the new? How good's the new? But if we win, then, you got to extend it out. I just go from week to week. And look, we could win this week. We could win maybe next week. That's 2, 2 and 3. And then, but if we end up 6, 7, 8 wins, then it puts us out of the quarterback position. So there's a lot going on here. I just want to take it week by week, but at least this is a win-win for the Dolphins. If we win here, it's exciting. We keep the season alive. If we lose, we win because we know, we're starting again, and we might get a chance to get it right this time.
Yeah, it's almost like it forces you to pick a direction. We're not kind of teetered. You kind of get
the middle of the road sucks. We've been doing that forever. We're in the middle of the road or slightly above.
The worst place to be in sports.
Oh, yeah.
The worst place. Any sport. You ask any general manager, any organization. It's the worst place to be. All right. Let's get into the injury report. Let's start here first. Not much new on the injury report. We'll start with the Dolphins. Storm Duck and Marshall Jr. did not practice Friday. Doesn't look like they're going, obviously. Darren Waller's interesting. he's limited. He's expected to play early on, then he's limited. I guess let's start there with the Waller situation. How much of a difference do you think it'll make if he plays? Do you expect him to play?
Oh, if he can play, yeah, he'll make a difference. I'm not saying he's going to put on 100 yards, but it's going to change the leverage because you got nobody coming out. Look, you can have a slot corner, and that's a type of leverage, or you can have a blocking, semi-blocking, and catching tight end, and then that changes the leverage. It changes personnel a little bit. So, yeah, if he plays, it's going to be – because, look, I thought Julian Hill had one of his best games last week. But Tana, whatever the heck his name is no good. He's just one-way Charlie. And Hill's really not doing it. Ingle, he could do his thing, but you're not putting him out in routes. So, yeah, it would make a difference. Even if he had 3 or 4 catches or 3 catches and one of them's a first down or a TD, it's a big deal. But I don't know what he can do, I mean, at this stage, like what, if he misses this, if he can't play this week, then it was a waste.
Yeah, it's a never-ending story here. He's going to play. He's not going to play. I'll believe it when I see him line up on one of the plays. He'll definitely help. They need him because.
I think he would. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do agree. I think he'll probably play one of his better games. But Connor is horrible blocking. He's a liability, and he doesn't do enough in the pass game.
The two of them, Tana, they can't block.
At least you can see it sometimes with Julian Hill, but like with Tanner Connor, I don't even. To me, he's a practice squad tight end at the best, and he's out there. Anyways, moving on to the Jets injury report. They're big injuries. Obviously, Quincy Williams, one of the IR, their Pro Bowl linebacker. But Jermaine Johnson, the edge, doesn't look like he's going to play, and they've had struggles, and we'll get to it with their pass rush. The corner, another position that they're struggling at, second corner. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., they just acquired, did not practice Friday, so don't know if either of those guys. Doesn't look like Jermaine Johnson's going to play. Fields, the big story. Looks like he's going to play. As far as the injuries for the Jets, how big is the Johnson loss? And would you rather face Fields or Tyrod Taylor, or does it matter?
No, I said that in my podcast. I think I'd rather face Fields. Because Tyrod, if you watched him last week, he made some darn good plays. I thought they didn't run that football, that game. But they got a little pass happy. Some of it wasn't, situational. But he played a darn good game. He got out. He's throwing his body around. He wants to keep playing. And he can make some plays. He has some of that veteran.
Curtis. We lost Curtis. We lost Curtis. The Dolphins got Curtis. He's frozen. Curtis, maybe you want to jump back in the live and jump back out. So let me get to this question here while we wait for Curtis to get back. Question from Rainy Day here. Question for you both. If Tua throws yet another game-crushing pick and we lose, what would be your plan for him the rest of the season? Great question. As we wait for Curtis to come back. All right, to me, you unless it goes off the rails, you stick with Tua, you stick it out with him the rest of the season, and then you figure out the game plan next offseason. I mean, he would have to be awful. I mean, real awful. And if you're trying to get a top pick next year, yeah, it would help. It would help if Tua wasn't starting and you put Zach Wilson in. That's guaranteed. That's like that year we had Josh Rosen. It's almost guaranteed that you're going to be picking 1-1 if Zach Wilson comes in. But yeah, I would stick with Tua. He's earned that right. Look, as much as I've been as much as I've been kind of critical of Tua and the regression, I do think he'll get better, and I think it'll start with this game. He'll get better. So I'm not, I'm not somebody who's going to. I think he's earned the right and the respect to finish out the year, no matter what. He would have to play. I mean, unless an injury takes him out, or you see the hip, something's going on with the hip. Maybe some of the reasons he's not playing as well and doesn't have the zip or velocity of the ball is because of an injury we don't know about then. But as far as if he plays like this the rest of the season, he earns the respect. He's done enough. You keep him in, even though. If you're, let's say, after 11 games, you're 3-8, and you want to obviously pick in the top 5, yeah, putting in Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers probably helps that matter more than Tua. But yeah, I don't think they move on from Tua. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Jonathan, Dive Bar's in the house. Shout out to them. Adrian's in the house. Jonathan Goodson, good morning, boys. George loves his live shows. Curtis got zapped out. Respect no other teams. Respect no other teams. Respect to not even him. Well, let's get into let's get into a little bit of the game plan here as we wait for Curtis to get back. All right, so here's the game plan for me offensively. This is a game where run. Force the run. Even when you don't want to run, if it's not working, run. The Dolphins, again, they can run. They're first in the league in yards per carry, but last in attempts. And history shows attempts are teams that run the ball a significant amount of times and have a lot of attempts are successful. Look at Philadelphia. Look at the Bucs last week. 34 runs. They have to do that, even if it doesn't affect this game. Even if this game is not affected on the film, the next game will be. If you show you run successful, run often, it's going to force teams to come up in the box and open up that deep passing game finally. Again, it might not pay off this game. It might be the next game versus Carolina as we get Curtis back in here. Curtis, did the Dolphins did they bring you back? Did they allow you to come back in? Did Garfinkel not zap you out of the Dolphins?
Yeah, I think that's what it is sometimes. It's like I feel like the Dolphins, man. I can't be consistent.
The Almighty. Yeah, so we're basically talking about the game. We're on the game plan here as far as the Dolphins. And I was saying, Curtis, they got to run. You mentioned to me backstage how important running attempts are to translate to success. This team's got to do more of it. Even if they're down 10-0, 10-3, they got to keep going. I want to see more I formation. I want to see short passes, get Tua back on rhythm, short zone passes. And I said it might not pay off this game, Curtis, right? It might not pay off. But if you change the identity and run, teams will eventually, if they're having success, they're going to get tired of getting slapped in the face with the running the ball. And I think this team can run, even on the left side. I know you're critical of Jonah, and we got a little piece here we're going to show. We have time here on Jonah and the offensive line. But kind of how would you attack this Jets defense?
Well, look, past is prologue. Look at Bucks. They ran 12 times off left end, only got 28 yards. They ran inside. You take Mayfield's 44 out. They averaged 2.6 and 2.4 yards per carry, but they ran the ball 34 times. And so you have to understand that I did a whole podcast on it, that the big, real smart people are constantly debating yards. What's the importance of the rush game? And everyone kind of comes to understanding that the attempts is the most important thing. And I showed that over the last 3 years, the teams that were in the top 10 for attempts, 8 out of 10 had winning seasons. And then the last 2 years, teams with the bottom 10 rush attempts, the majority of them, 50, 60, and I think this year it's 80% don't have winning records. The run game plays a huge part because you've got a cycle of pass-happy, smaller defense stopping the fun ball, and it helps the defense out. There's an intrinsic value between your time of possession. We're last in the league with 25 minutes a game. A lot of that was for week one, but it's continued. And so you look at Gailey in 21, he had a much worse offensive line, but he ran because he understood the strategic and tactical advantages. And McDaniel's skittish. He gets off of it. He gets nervous. And that we've got to run the football. Look, Ali, you give him a little bit, he can fall for 2 or 3. You run these outside zones, and if you look at their corners, they're not really. Sauce is good, but the other guy on the other side, I can't remember his name. He's a big guy, but he can't really cover all that well. But he blows up screens and edge runs. So from a philosophical standpoint, McDaniel's got to do what he hasn't done, which is be patient as an offensive coordinator, be like Gailey in a lot of ways, and understanding the long-term value over a season, especially most importantly this game. Run inside with Ali.
Yes.
Run the damn football. I said it in 21. I'm saying it again in 25.
and that's the only way that's going to open things up. It's teams are. If you run every once in a while and you have a success, but you're only running it 15 times a game, teams are going to still play that cover 2, cover 3, those cloud defenses, and it's going to be more difficult. Yeah, you have Hill and Waddle. We have 2 Ferraris, and we're using them like Toyota Corollas. No disrespect for Toyota Corollas, but we see what they do at wide receiver. So that's the only way. You have to set a trend on film for these teams to respect it. It's got to be a change of philosophy, and that's where Mike really just has to kind of. And what shocks me, Curtis, is his strength is run game coordinator, right? That's his strength. I think his pass concepts are pretty simple. To me, he's a run game. That's his strength. I don't understand why.
One of the biggest failures I've had doing this job in my evaluations was the belief that in 2022, when we signed McDaniel, we were going to move to a pass balance running team. I was so wrong. It was incredible. That was probably one of, I say, 2 or 3 biggest failures in evaluation. Ultimately, the failure is on him because he suffered for it. I went through the numbers, and 22 was the last peak of that fumble year. At 21, it kind of moved back. There was a heavy run emphasis, and then they went back. So the league was moving like this. 22 was the last year, and we accentuated. Shame Tua got hurt.
Yeah,
we accentuated with the movement and the skills, but 23 started the hard recoding of the cycle. It's a shame. I was so wrong.
Yeah. Well, we look. It's hard to bet 1,000 in this, But we're out here to put our opinions out and people to judge it.
But if I'm going to say I just got something right, I also got to say I got it wrong. That one was Absolutely. Like the big one, man.
Yeah. You mentioned. I think another key here offensively is. You mentioned the other corner, right? I think one of the interesting things to watch in this game is how are they going to use Sauce? I think they'll leave him on one side of the field. Are they going to have him trail Tyreek, follow Tyreek? I don't think so. But it's something interesting. If you're watching the game, watch that, because then I think Waddle will have a big game because Stevens, it's been bad. Like you said, he's physical.
I don't think they'll do it because all you would do is if you really trust Sauce, you got Hill and Waddle. You let him play on his one side, and whoever's there, Hill or Waddle, and then you just roll your coverage.
It's not like we have a bad wide receiver too.
And then you just roll your coverages to the weak side.
And the thing is with Stevens is he gave up a touchdown last week. He had 3 missed tackles versus the Bucs. He's not been good. You said he comes up strong against the run on the edge, but he hasn't been good this year. So
I'm sorry, who did you say was it? Who was
Brandon
that?
Stevens, the corner.
Yeah.
The other corner. Yeah. And then Brownlee, the kid they just got on the trade, he's hurt. So they've been struggling at that corner. Cisco's
Carter the second's not playing well.
Cisco's been up and down. The safety, who I actually liked him a lot coming out of Syracuse. Cisco, shout out to Ben Affleck.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Very kind, man. Very kind.
49ers take McDaniel. You guys get floors against. Thank you, Ben Affleck's double chin. Appreciate the $2 dono. Yeah, so the profile picture is wild, Diversity. We appreciate it. Where was I? Threw me off the profile. Yeah. Stevens,
I appreciate the smile in the morning, man. That's good.
Man. We appreciate it here. Everybody in the chat, thank you. Come over to YouTube with us. Ask some questions in the chat. Drop those likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Curtis and I are counting down the game today, our Saturday show here. Nobody breaks it down in depth like Curtis. Curtis is the man.
That's right.
All right, so
my internet allows me.
So I do think attacking that other side, Steven, and their safety play hasn't been great. So it's something interesting to watch for me. And the Jets are 23rd against the run. They also have trouble pass rushing. They blitz a lot, and they just like us. We have the high pressure rate, high blitz rate, low lasting pressure rate. They're struggling too, and Jermaine Johnson's out. So,
I got a little hostile. I got a little info here. So,
breaking news.
If you compare, right? So they blitz. Okay, so we blitz 4th most, 1.2%. They blitz 27th, 18th. Their pressures, I think they're 20th, and we're like 29th.
Yeah.
So they're not bringing the heat as much. We're bringing tons of heat, and we're not getting the pressure. So
it's insane the number that it's insane. I've never seen it.
No. Here's the insane number. So people who want to say, this front sucks. Okay. The completion percentage by Miami is number one in the league, 78.8% for opposing receivers. Our expected points through the pass game, 32nd, negative 47.9. And tackles for loss, 28. So you could put that on them, but you 78.8% completion percentage and expected points through the pass game is the worst in the league at minus 47. Oh, Fields will start.
Yeah,
that's better for us.
That's kind of what I kind of.
That's better for us. Unless we, hey Lou, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? But this secondary, look, you can say Greer screwed up, but I don't think you expect Kohu to go down. But this secondary is so bad, and they're all flaws in our front. Chubb's not playing well. He's got the sacks, but he's not playing well in the run game. Chop got the knee injury, but he wasn't playing well before that. We're getting moved inside. Sealer really needs that second guy to work with. He had it on Ann Campbell, and it's really hurting him this year. So there's a lot going on here. And then our linebackers, Dotson had 2 bad games, 1 good game. Brooks had 2 good games and 1 bad game. So it's the one good thing for the Jets this week, that defense, they're 32nd in missed tackles. So there's a lot of opportunity for us.
They're that's been the problem with their defense. Their missed tackle, lack of turnovers. It's been bad. Going back to the Dolphins offense, what base? I know Glenn, has always been a fan of man coverage. Wilkes is kind of leaned towards zone, so they kind of blended in. They were a lot of their base. They've gone less. They used to be a heavy nickel team, 4-2-5 nickel. The Jets, they still do it. I imagine we're going to see. It depends on the opponent, but I imagine we'll see a lot of cover 2, cover 3 this week, right, Curtis?
Yeah, they have to. They don't got the talent, and you can see by what they're calling the lack of blitzes says that hey, we're not, and they can't be group. But can we take advantage of it? I mean, I couldn't believe it. Everyone gets stuff wrong, but I saw something from I'm not going to say who, but they ranked us the 11th best offensive line in the league. And that's crazy. They ranked like sacks and pressure time to throw. I went through it all. Dude, our PK time is 2.3. We're blitzed 29th, but we're giving up the 3rd most pressure at 28.8. And I even went to PFF, which shows pressure time in clean and pressure time in blitz. And when you factor it out, it's 2.66 clean time to throw and 2.63 blitz time to throw. And I went through the first 11 teams, and all of them had better. So what they're going to do, they got Quinnen Williams, and he's going to feast on Jonah, and he's going to feast on Keon. And the other guy that got next to him, Robbins, he's not bad either. And it's gonna hurt Brewer a little bit. We have the worst guards in the league. I don't know how you get to 11th best offensive line. And I'm not hard on Jonah. Anybody who knows anything, the most basic, the first step is the foundation to the play. His first step comes up and goes down in the same spot.
Let's break down the video.
Go for it.
Yeah. Great
this is on. Listen. I've said this multiple times. I hate reusing my takes. I like to do it off the cuff. Yeah. But what I saw on film in week 2 to preseason was like seeing a Sasquatch marrying Elvis, and it was so unheard of. I could not believe what I was seeing. This is not normal. And the kid's got physical talent. But show this film here for anybody who doesn't see. Just
bring it up. Let's bring it up. I'll let you narrate. This is all Curtis here.
Sure.
All right, so let's
watch his foot. Watch Keon's foot where it ends. Jones goes right back to the same spot. You've got to gain ground 6 to 8 inches, or you're re-stepping. You're losing initiative. That foot keeps coming back. Every single play is the same. Insane. Listen. Just all you get. And that Keon's doing, and you can see right here, he gets there late, he's leaning over, and he just gets totally manhandled. It's all because he's
Head over
Yeah.
skis.
And it all starts with the first step. So, on this one, look, his feet, same spot. And then the one after this is where he pulls and he jumps up and comes down in the same spot.
It's all
You
basic.
can't.
This is
Look at
crazy.
this. Look, he just jumps up in the same spot. He's not going forward, and he's late on arrival to the block. You can't go against the best in the world and give him a free step.
Yeah.
Look at that. And then he gets there late. Yeah, the block down, but that he's late. He should be there in front of him to seal it. So you could stop it there. But that's
everything.
Once that changes, he'll be okay.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's still early in his career, but I told you this kind of backstage. I related to I always like to go to baseball terms, and a power hitter who in BP is hitting 450-yard bombs, but in the game can't recognize pitches, can't hit all speed. He can't get to his power in game. He can't get to it because he's late on everything. These are simple fixes that should have been fixed in college, and especially when he got here with Butch Berry.
But that's what I don't understand, though. What I don't understand is how smarter people didn't see this, and he was billed as the greatest thing in forever. But that's okay. We're not professionals. Yeah. How does Greer, his scouting staff, or offensive line, Butch Barry trust? It was in college. And how is it not? Okay, you're going to draft him, but then you overpay, and then you move him to the other side, and then you don't fix it. He shouldn't be playing until that's resolved. It's not good for the kids, not good for the team. It's just madness. It's unconscionable. Greg Miney, who played offensive line and was a college coach, said it's coaching malpractice. And that's endemic, systemic, representative of our problems here beyond. The same thing happens everywhere. We put guys in the wrong positions. We don't coach them right. We don't set them up right. Prime example. You spent a second and third, went up, made him your starter, moved him over, and you don't even get his foot in the right spot to start. And it's like, oh, okay, here we go. That's crazy.
Shout out to Finn Sammy's in the house.
That doesn't happen anywhere in the NFL. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it has, but I've never seen it.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Come on over to YouTube. You're watching anywhere else. Make sure you drop that like. Here, Curtis and I are here.
Other than that, we're doing great.
Other than that, we're doing great. You know the one thing in college. You know the one thing in college that I didn't like, and it was kind of in the run game. I wanted him to be more aggressive, and maybe this is what I missed. What he was doing with his feet, I couldn't figure. Curtis, I couldn't figure.
Well,
it out.
you don't have all 22. You don't see it unless you.
It was hard to get all 22 of him.
Yeah, you and I talked, and I said, "This guy struggles with power," but I didn't know why.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it. Yeah, I couldn't figure that one part out. I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. You didn't have.
As soon as you put all 22 on, it just flashes.
Very true. It's 3 games in the NFL with him and Grant. I like you said, if he gets this figured out, the tools are there. What we saw and what made people high on him, it's there. But if he doesn't correct this, it's just
you can't.
In college, I was like, why is he not more aggressive in the run game? This guy has everything, the hand grips, everything to dominate at times in the run game. Why is he more? Maybe it was this angle we didn't see because his tape was difficult to get all 22 on, and maybe that's one thing we're seeing now. But still, Curtis, he shouldn't be allowed on the field until that's corrected, right? That shouldn't be. So it almost means like they're desperate. They have no other choice. He was drafted to be forced into starting, so they have no choice. But this should have been corrected with Butch Berry. No excuse.
Well, let's look at this. Let's look at it this way. He's way more talented than Liam Eichenberg. Liam Eichenberg had 10 games with 27 pressures. He's played 3 with 11. And it's not because he doesn't have the talent.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with you on that. I couldn't agree more. Great film work there. Jonathan, yes. Breaking news. Yeah, Justin Fields clears protocol. And the last time, do you remember what happened last time we played Justin Fields? Was that 2022? 32-35 win, but he had a $178 on the ground on us. So let's get into now the game plan defensively. Speaking of Fields, you know what's funny? First, you remember our first countdown to game day show? I said more man, less zone. The Dolphins have been trending that way. Their first game against the Colts, it was 33.3% man, 66.7 zone.
Oh, good. I didn't know that. Good stuff.
42.9 man versus the Pats, 57.1 versus zone. Then the Bills, 47.4 man, 51.6 zone. I said that first week, that number needs to go closer. And I even wanted to go 55, 45, 60, 40 in favor of man. So they are trending towards more man. I think Weaver's figured some out. I thought he figured a little bit out in the second half. I saw where he had Phillips a lot of 3 technique next to Sealer in that second half, but they'll run at you if you keep doing that. So you got to make adjustments there. I think this play more man, attack the Jets. The Jets too struggle. Their offensive line, they got 2 young tackles that are real talented. But what I did notice against the blitz, they struggle blocking. They have a hard time blocking the blitz when you watch them on film. And the Dolphins, what's going to give? I think this is the game where the pass rush gets there. Actually, Chubb's got the numbers. Phillips has looked better on film, actually, than Chubb, in my opinion. And Chubb, I think, is still dealing with the knee issue, and I don't think they trust him versus the run. But, I know that I've heard that they don't trust him that much versus the run. That's why his snaps haven't been as high. And plus the knee injury that he kind of dealing with that he faced with the Colts.
Yeah, Fasciano's given up 50.
You're breaking up there, Curtis. Curtis is we lost Curtis again. He's having issues. But anyways, the Jets, like I said, game plan for the Dolphins on the defensive side of the ball here is more man coverage. Jets are 31st in pass offense. And besides Wilson, they don't have much at that wide receiver. I know Josh Reynolds will bring it back in the midst. So keep that percentage. Last week you were 40% man, 47% man. Let's go up to that number. Let's take it to 55, 60%. Do that. Blitz them. Again, they have a hard time picking up the blitz. They got 2 talented young tackles, and Fasciano and Membo's been really good. So this is a big game for the Chubb, Robinson. Win the takeaway battle. Here's another thing. Both these teams, as we wait for Curtis to come back, both these teams are last in takeaways. They have 0. That's crazy. Both of them. So I think this is a game, whoever wins the takeaway battle, all of those guys, will maybe win this game. So win the takeaway battle, and to me, as we wait for Curtis to come back, sell out versus the run. That's their strength. They're 31st in pass offense. They're 9th in run defense. Sell out versus the run. Sell out. I'm not worried about what's going to happen downfield. Garrett Wilson's really their only threat. They got Mason Taylor, obviously Jason's son at tight end, who I think they probably, for a lot of reasons, probably want to get him involved. Sell out versus the run. Stop Hall, but mainly stop Fields. Make Fields beat you with his arm. We mentioned the last time they played Fields, 178 yards on the ground he had in a 32-35 win, but they lost the game, but he had 170 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He was efficient passer. So make him beat you with that. So it's going to be big on the linebacker. Who's going to spy? Because on third down, the Jets are 30th in third down offense. 30th. Let's keep it like that. So our defense really has to step up here on third down. Don't let them get, if it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Fields takes off, keeps the drive alive, keep them in the game, keep the momentum going. Keep them in 3rd and long, make Fields beat you with the arm. To me, that's the biggest thing. Do not let him go crazy in the passing game. As we got Curtis back. Curtis, don't worry, we held the fort down. Bro, I had to. All right, so we were going over the defensive game plan for you. What would it be versus this Jets offense?
Well, it changes with Fields because Chubb struggling, stopping a run. And so you look at our blitz rate, we have to go more to man because he feels like he needs to blitz more. And so it's in some ways it's more detrimental with Fields, but he really can't throw, so it helps out our secondary. But he's going to try to he's got to get some negative plays. So I expect the trend to man to happen more, but I just don't like Rasul Douglas and man, because if the protection's there, then he's going to get burnt mid-late clock. You know, Lawson Marshall's not that big. He's playing terrible. You know, so they're probably going to
They
be
don't got
using
much behind him.
so the
Breaking up
safeties.
again.
Sorry, they're using more. They can use more free safeties.
Yeah, could be Elijah Campbell or Trader. I think Trader's going to be there a lot.
He's been playing pretty decent.
Yeah, out of all the rookies, he's actually. I would say him and Phillips probably playing the best, right? Of all the rookies. I mean, he's coming. You notice him when he's out there. You know, I agree with Lou. We need to get more from Grant too. Yeah.
Oh, he gets moved too easy in a run game.
Him and Sealer, I've got to, especially this game. And
I don't know if Steele is 100% though. He got injured in preseason.
I honestly, Curtis, I just think teams there's no Calais Campbell next year. They can't run a lot of stunts. They don't have the guys who can run stunts with them. Like, that's not Grant's game. That's not Phillips' game. You know, and I think teams are game planning for Sealer. He's got to adjust. He's got to figure it out. I think we're seeing that early on. You know, so, and I mentioned this too. The Jets are 30th in third down offense. Keep it that way. Keep them in third and long. Don't let Fields keep playing drives alive, and keep that defense on the field in those 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 spots. You know what I mean? And that's where a key is going to be who's spying him. I said sell out on the run. I'm not worried about their passing offense. Garrett Wilson's the only threat they got. If you're going to lose this game, make Justin Fields beat you with his arm, because I don't know if he's capable of doing that. So you agree with that?
Yeah, you got to definitely stop throwing, because Breece Hall can hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, and game going, we're doomed.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
You know, I'm probably breaking up, right?
Yeah, you're breaking up. Don't worry. It's live. It's live. We're going on the fly here. Don't worry. All right, let me go to let's go to the keys of the game here while you're getting situated. I'll go through mine here quickly. I'll go over them. Win the turnover battle. Like I said, both teams have no turnovers. Whoever wins that, but I said at the top of the show, this is a game of a lot of break the curse type game. Whoever does it early in the season, issues they've had, whoever can accomplish that, probably win this game. Win the turnover battle. Attack the corner not named Sauce Gardner. They're really struggling. Brandon Stevens struggled last game versus Tampa. He struggled all season. They're already regretting giving him that big contract. He had 3 missed tackles and allowed a touchdown versus the Jets. I mean the Bucks. I mean, Abuka's special young player, but still. And heavy run game early, often. Put it on film. Run a lot of Gordon. I wouldn't mind more carries for Gordon and let use A-Chain properly in the pass game, but run a lot of I formation, short passes for Tua, take a shot downfield if they bite. Look for that. Win the third down battle. Keep them in third and long. Get pressure. They struggle against the blitz. Get pressure up front, and they got to get some pressure up the middle. Both teams, struggle in pass rush. Both teams struggle in turnover. I think the key in the game, which team comes out on top of that, probably does it right. Curtis, give me some keys to the game.
Look, am I freezing again?
I hear you.
All right, sorry about that.
Sorry.
We got to run the football. We've got to run 28 to 32 times. We can't have turnovers. We've got to understand that this is not a potent offense. McDaniel's got to come out understanding it's a 4-quarter game. Run that and defense off schedule. Fields looked great week 1, but he looked terrible, out of sorts. So we've got to play long fortitude.
Yeah.
McDaniel doesn't seem to have that. He gets nervous. He always wants to score. Everything's got to be a score. Yeah, you want to get scores, but it doesn't just happen. Get the ball out quick, over the line of scrimmage, get 3-4 yards on a play, and then, win position battle and trust that you got the talent to beat this team and be physical. and play 4 quarters. But I don't know if he's going to do that. If he comes out and he runs the football and Quinnen Williams blows up and he'll go to the sides and, he may get some big plays off that.
He's got.
I mean, you look at us in 20.
I don't understand why he doesn't get it, and he has to stick with that.
Because he's nervous. He's got queasy in him without admitting it. Look, even in 2023, we had 6th or 7th best rush attack, but it was all on first down. Couldn't run inside, couldn't run on second and third down. And he just abandons it because he feels the pressure right off the bat to score.
0-3. Yeah, but they're 0-3. When does he realize it's not working? They figured it out.
On his next team.
Yeah, on his next team. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe great point. Maybe so. Maybe he'll never learn it here, and that's going to be his downfall as early as in the next few weeks. So, yeah, great point. All right, let's get into
guys. Sorry, guys, about this internet. I guess that's beyond
right.
my control.
It happens. We're managing through it, but we love to hear you, Curtis, no matter what. So, all right, let's get into some key matchups individually. You want me to start off? I got a few. I think who's ever spying Justin Fields, who do you think it'll be? Brooks? Maybe they put Gay in finally more, or Fitzpatrick. That's going to be key. I think whoever Stevens is on, you got to win that matchup. The corner. I think Jack Jones versus Garrett Wilson. I think in man coverage. I like Jack's last game actually. Those are some of mine. You have any matchups to add on that, or any key matchups for you in this game individually?
Yeah, if we're playing man, it's Jack Jones versus Wilson, but he doesn't have the size advantage, so that'll be interesting. And he's hit or miss. But really, I think it comes down to Savaianaya and Keon. He's going to determine. And Tua's got to look. You go watch Mayfield. And Mayfield was navigating that pocket. He was standing strong. He picked up a couple of big runs and some runs, passes on broken plays. Tua's got to play tough. He's got to play to make a few make. But if Quinnen Williams is blowing through there, it's going to really exasperate everything. And so that's the big piece of a puzzle. It's really Quinnen Williams. He's been a game wrecker, and he's going against East on 2 not so good guards. And then, obviously defensively, Minka has got to keep everything in front of him. He can't let the Jets have any explosive plays in the pass game. And then McDaniel's got called around.
Did we lose Curtis again? I think we did lose Curtis again. You're back. No worries, Curtis. It's what happens when you go live. These things happen, man. These things happen.
With me more often than not.
They're trying to cut you off.
I live in the mountains. I'm 2,300 feet in the air, and all the lines go up through the mountains. And then I got issues. You got to teach me how to do it on my wife's phone. I got a phone, but I don't even.
We'll figure it out. We'll get you on the wife's phone. Not even your phone, the wife's phone. We'll get you on there. And look, they know you're accurate a lot, Curtis. The Dolphins don't want you to get all this information out. That's what it is. All right. Yeah, another one. You said the offensive line. Yeah, those, and also the edge rushers versus these young tackles. Membo's a beast, man. He's a beast.
He's playing well.
I was loving him. I was praying in the draft that he would fall to us at pick 13. I knew it would never happen, but thank everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys drop the likes, hit the thumbs up, share it. We're here with Curtis. Countdown to game day. Curtis, you ready to play a little fun game of over-under?
Sure, if my internet allows, I'm here.
All right, let's go.
This is when I want my internet to go out during this part so I don't make bad evaluations.
Chat, join us on the over-under here. All right. Over-under, Tua passing yards, 236.5.
Yeah, we've got to go 20.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, he hasn't. I think he's been under 2 out of the 3. I think he's got to go over. If he doesn't go over 236, we're in trouble. Well, maybe not. Maybe if we run the ball well and kind of fishing game, kind of simplify the gameplay. Maybe not. I'll go over as well. Hill, 68.5 yards. He's been under 2 out of the 3 times this season, Chris.
I think he might go under.
Under. Okay. I think this is a tough one because I actually think Water will have a big game. I'll go he goes slightly over, like he has 74 yards or something like that. 5.5 receptions. I'm going under. He's been under 2 of the 3 times this season. I think he gets about 5.
I think there's a lot going on in the background with all his investigations,
Yeah.
this like some quote unquote videos surfacing. So I think there's a lot going on in the background. Because if he gets investigated, forget about him. They'll be avoiding his contract, and no one's going to want him next year. And he's got 1,000 kids. So that might be on his mind.
For sure. All right, Waddle, 50.5 yards. He's been under 2 out of 3 this season. I'm going over. I think Stevens matched up a lot. I'm going over, way over.
Yeah, I think so. Given the cornerback group, I think one of them will have a good game. And I probably if you go to Jets, you want to limit Hill and not Waddle.
I mean the other so it's receptions 4.5. He's been over 2 out of 3. I'm going over. I think he has about 6-7 catches. You're over or under on Waddle?
I think over.
4.5. Yeah, over. I think that's I'd play that one. That one's too. All right, A-Chain, 55.5 yards rushing. Under, over.
Under.
He's been under the 2 of the 3. I'm going under as well, slightly under. But this one I'm going over. Receptions, 5.5. I'm going over.
Oh.
You're going over? Okay. You broke up a little. All right.
I'm saying under.
You're saying under 5.5 receptions. Okay, you broke up. All right. Receiving yards, 40.5. I'm going over, especially the linebacker's injury. I'm going over.
Yeah, I think he'll have his game in the pass game.
Yeah, so you are going over as well. Here's another one. 12.5 attempts. I'm going under. He's been under all 3 games. And I want to see more Gordon. 12.5 attempts for A-Chain, over under.
I think you're told. And
yeah, you're breaking up. I couldn't hear you. All right.
Forget about me, man. Just you wrap it up. I might chat.
All right. Gordon, 25.5 under, over. He's been under the last 2 games. Is trending up. If you can hear me, Curtis, you can chime in. I'm going over. And 7.5 attempts. I'm going over as well. I think his trend is up. I'm going over on both of those. If you can hear me, you can chime in. If not,
I just think that Ollie Gordon's got to take a bulk of this stuff. You got to get H-An with a few runs and passes and just slam Ollie.
I agree. All right. Last one, Malik Washington, 18.5 receiving yards. He's been under the last 2 to 3. This one's confusing me. I'm going to go over, but it's not a guarantee, even though it seems like a number you want to play.
I'll say over. I'll just follow you. You're smarter than me.
Yeah, sometime. I don't know about that. All right. Bold prediction time and final prediction time as we wrap this up, Curtis. I'll go first. Bold prediction, Ollie over 75 yards rushing and a touchdown. A-Chain over 70 yards receiving and a touchdown. Do you have a bold prediction, Curtis?
I'll just play it. Yeah, why not? Dolphins win. Ollie, they did. Sane's asylum and runs Ollie all day, and he has a great game. That's
your bold prediction. All right, final score prediction. Final score.
I think 20-23. I'll say Dolphins if McDaniel runs enough.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go 27. Yeah, you're breaking up. I'll wrap it up here. I'll go 27-20. Dolphins. They got more talent. Tua bounces back. Running game and defensive pass rush finally get going. Dolphins, if they play like they did Monday night versus Thursday versus the Bills, they get a win. And we can talk about a win on the post-game show. I don't know if Curtis is going to be on the post-game show. We're live Monday night. Monday night right after the game. Jonathan says 31-28. So stay with us. Stick with us there. Don't forget to share the broadcast, subscribe, share it, let your friends know the Fins Faithful podcast.
And I'll get better internet.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't fall under pressure. I stood in the pocket and I delivered the passes. Curtis, thank you so much. We'll see you next time again. We're live after the post game, right after the game on post game. So join us there. Make sure you set your notifications on. As always, guys, stay Fins Faithful and Fins up. We are out.